Okay, hi, this is Tamara Oviatt with Sacred Activations, and I'm talking to Shoshona and her son, Michael. Michael has some autistic tendencies, and we are working on that so that he can function completely the way he wishes to. So we can't say normal, because what is normal, seriously? So welcome to the call, Shoshona. If you could start out with sharing what's happened since last week.
Well, he's doing much better. He had his big trigger is this little guy barking, which usually doesn't happen, but the universe has given us multiple opportunities. So the day after the dog barked, usually he'll melt down all day, and he was like, "Oh, the dog barked," right? Just a couple of sentences. But then a couple of days later, it happened again, and he really had a big meltdown. But he's also having liver cleansing herbs, so I think he's just having a big detox cleanse. And I would actually say that things overall are very much better. We're having this little boy with us constantly, and he's really kind of okay with it. So that's a huge shift, and he's much more peaceful. He's not making those autism noises, and lots of changes for the better.
Awesome.
So we're
Yay.
Yay.
And that's in 1 week. That's awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations, Michael. Thank you for showing up again. A lot of people, when they start shifting, they kind of freak out and go away because the shift's happening too fast, but you're willing to continue to do this, and I'm thrilled.
Yay.
Super excited that I get to play with you. I met Shoshona and Michael in Ashland, Oregon, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago, and God told me I had to do 4 sessions with Michael, and Michael was interested, and it was his choice to do this. So how cool is that?
Yay.
Nothing can happen without, of course, your permission. And then we have Neo up next, and Neo is in about 30 minutes, and he's on. And Neo is like most healers, a little fear of their power and money and all that other kind of stuff, and feeling a little stuck. That is totally a universal thing for healers. It was definitely me for years, and I'm getting better and better. Not totally there yet. Kind of had a little bit of a setback over the last few months. But all's good. We've been doing a lot of personnel changes. We've got Colleen here, and she's our new happiness manager. She's doing an excellent job. And then we now have Chad, who is handling the website. So Lee is no longer with us. And so we're really excited about all the changes that are happening here, because myself, I'm opening up for shifts beyond where I've been. So it's, when you change yourself, you end up changing things around you in order to change yourself. So that's what's been happening with me. I've been doing this over the last few years and doing it some more. And I'm super excited about the shifts and the changes that are happening in my life. Yay. Okay, so let's get started. Shoshona and Michael, the first activation I heard to do with you guys is total body connection. A lot of people that have ADD, ADHD, schizophrenia, autism, they're not fully in their body or totally connected. And I used to not be in my body. I used to so not be in my body. In 2013, I received this activation, total body connection, in the middle of a training. Everybody was working on each other, and I went to take a nap. And the energy started, and I asked, what's going on? And I heard total body connection. I'm all, what's that? And then I saw the molecules moving in my toes, and then they took me into my spleen, and then my spleen started yelling at me. What are you doing in here? You don't even think I'm important. What? And that was totally correct, because when I was a teenager, somebody I knew lost their spleen in a car accident. And I asked if my boyfriend at the time, and I was told, oh, spleen. I don't remember if he said it or somebody else, but spleens aren't even important. We don't even need them anymore. So that was my belief system, that spleens weren't important. So here is my spleen yelling at me. And then I was brought into my brain, and I saw everything function in my brain. But what was interesting about that was a couple days later, I was walking and it was the weirdest feeling in the world. I could actually feel my feet. I was actually in my feet, and my walking has shifted. It was so strange because, you know, a lot of us souls aren't totally connected to our bodies. And I've always believed that the body is just a vehicle to get you around. And I didn't believe in the importance of the body. Still working on that. I'd really like to be in ultimate, how do you say that? Great shape. Let's say it that way. Ooh, I got to change the, it's showing my messy desk. There we go. Okay. So Michael, what I want you to do, honey, is just do what we did last week, okay? And I'm going to be running this activation, total body connection. And of course, everybody on this call can also benefit from this. So just put your thought and your feelings wherever you would like. And I'm going to run the first activation. And if this is your first time listening to activations while I'm silent, the energy's running, and this gives you an opportunity to focus on whatever it is. Okay, the next activation we are bringing in is living in the past. So again, just put your thoughts and feelings anywhere they go. Okay, we're now doing brain and balance. This balances your left and right hemispheres. Okay, we're now doing hormones and balance. So we're running post-traumatic stress disorder. So we're running post-traumatic stress disorder, hormones imbalance, brain imbalance, total body connection, living in the past. We're now also running inner child reconnection. Whew. Okay. How are you doing, Michael? How are you doing, Shoshona?
Good. That was powerful. The full body reconnection was just gorgeous lights. And the inner child reconnection was, I always think of it as like the wounded inner child, but it was like, oh, the angels were everywhere and I could see them. It was that reconnection, very sweet.
Very sweet.
Big traumatic past life for him. I'm not going to go into right here, but that I was working on during that.
So you were seeing that while we were working?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good. That means it's clearing and you're seeing what's shifting. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll work more on that next week. I don't want to do too much this week because, as you know, Shoshona, with the activations, like he kind of had a meltdown. It sometimes takes 2 or 3 days, and then the poof of energy comes up and releases.
Right.
The sacred activations, it doesn't automatically happen right away. It sometimes happens later. So, you know, I don't want to be overwhelming because I want you to show up for 2 more weeks.
We will.
I want this to be with ease and grace, but of course, as fast as possible for the shifts.
Yes, we like
We'll be doing healing in the womb next week also, and we'll do some more past life stuff. The sacred activations automatically handle past lives, but I'm going to spend some time just in past lives next week with him. Remind me what I said today.
Thank you, Tamara. You're awesome.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Michael, for showing up, honey. I'm going to see you guys soon.
Yay.
It's coming up.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much, Tamara.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Tamara. I love you.
Thank you. Angel, we're going to be doing another session here in 5 minutes with Neo. So everybody just take a 5-minute break and we'll come back and we'll start with Neo. Shoshona, this one is going to be really good for you. I'd stick around. We'll take a break and come back. All right. All right, everybody. So give me 5, 6, 7 minutes somewhere in there and we'll get started with Neo. Thank you. Okay, hi everybody, we're back. How's everybody doing? Oh shoot, I forgot to stop